Asheville judge tanks cases. You will know his name when I'm finished with my work. We already know the statute of limitations, the malpractice of our lawyers that have got our cases thrown out from Buick being exploded, the even flow car seat malfunctioning. This has been 5 years later. The judge allowed them to drop my representation after I called my lawyers out on their malpractice after being advised from Morgan & Morgan and other large law firms working in class action lawsuits with my lawyers. So they cannot help me with the malpractice lawsuit. Not that it matters, because no matter how empathetic they sound when they describe the story and trying to throw out the depositions of the doctors and everyone who knows that there were no flames inside the vehicle trying to free my son and my daughter, that the seat was malfunctioning as I was trying to get him out and catching fire from my arms and my legs underneath the vehicle. So, putting this out there as my testimony, my mother's asked me to help her with these documents for court. None of it abides by the Global Postal Treaty. The courts have been closed since 2004. According to the Chief of Supreme Court, we will never see the light of day in court, just like we didn't with General Motors, as long as this discovery of this buckle car seat from our lawyers. From Corpus, Christi, Texas, please be aware of your words and the origins of your words. Truth is in plain sight. They mock maritime law in front of me. There's too much water over the dam after calling Marion a bad word 5 years ago and then making me apologize to her right after. That it was my emotions to Marion. And I said, for your children's sake, I hope your karma is clear. And that's about as wicked as I get besides the C word. 5 years ago. And since then have been cordial, ready to go to court on Halloween for my 2 Scorpio children, death, rebirth, transformation, etc. Know your signs, and all the court dates and all these decisions have correlated with the cosmos, the astrological essence of the objective physical, the intangible, and the tangible physical result. The burden of awareness is responsibility. So, as I continue, I cannot take these people seriously. I can't take these court documents seriously, and I can't take these judges seriously. I doubt he will ever let me in front of him again to spit in his face in person. So, entertaining my family, trying to go about the legal way of doing these things, despite all of these contradictions and the depositions and the motions against us to remove the depositions. There were no flames in the vehicles, for example. So, and that our cases had already been thrown out, so they shouldn't be liable, etc. My malpracticing lawyer, Marion Riley, after we had already been approved to fight for my children's wrongful death, couldn't practice there in Ohio, so tried to remove the buckle from the car seat of Even Flow to Asheville, North Carolina, where he deliberately tanked our case by letting our lawyers drop our representation from noticing and bringing to their attention, why did you remove the buckle from Even Flow when we were already approved? And then we got denied from statute of limitations because it's not from the wrongful death of discovery of wrongful death, but the date of the wrongful death itself. So we were too late to file there. They threw our children out of the case. So they're only liable for our burns. So now my burns. So now Even Flow has picked that up and said, well, everything's been thrown out prior, so we shouldn't be liable for any of their children or for her burns at all, to motion to dismiss all of it. So before we get denied, before I already know the outcome of this case, I'll just put it out there so that it's already known. This isn't me being a psychic, remedy for disease, fortune teller, intuitive. This is fact, objective fact, that these courts are closed. They are deliberately shutting down your cases through any which matter of malpractice. and they can't be taken seriously. So now my next step, whether anyone likes it or not, and anyone thinks I'm crazy, I'm working as a postmaster with the Postmaster Generals as now an objective matter of fact on paper where the adverbs control the nouns, etc. to the sentence structure of the Global Postal Treaty. Haha. Why should it matter? Well, when you're fighting corporations for the wrongful death and they're putting you through these fraudulent systems, we are going to get back at them. If not the corporation, at least these set up manipulative municipal courts, fraud, Admiralty Maritime law. They cannot hear your voice in court. It is a dead on the water system. Ask my lawyer, Bob. He doesn't talk to me, but ask Marion. She's partner now, so after this malpractice. So I'm going to continue doing my work today, and we'll see what the Postmaster General say. They say for each false leading statement on every document of this fraudulent court system that there's so many millions of dollars. So hey, it's worth a shot, right? Since the so-called justice system has no empathy for a mother with PTSD and all these corrupted parts of car seats and vehicles with as if a bomb was strapped to it. So thanks, yeah.